Hello and welcome to my review of Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade. I'm jc.exe, and this is my shotgun style review, which means I'm going to spend about 5 minutes arming you with as much information as possible to help you make a decision of whether or not you want to jump into this game. So without further ado, you start off by choosing between one of the two factions you can currently play out of 4 a total, which are currently having 2 locked out, being the Orcs and the Eldar. So you get the Space Marines and the Chaos Space Marines. Afterwards, you choose a chapter. The chapters are purely cosmetic at the moment, with Dark Angels, Ultramarines, Space Wolves, and Blood Angels for the Space Marines, and the Chaos get the Word Bearers, the Black Legion, Night Lords, and Iron Warriors, all of which is currently just cosmetic. I don't know if they have plans to give them special traits and abilities, but that's how it's going right now. So after you get to choose one of these, you then move on to your loadouts, which basically is just what weapons you're going to be bringing for specific loadouts. And each loadout is restricted to certain types of gear, but there is a lot of gear to choose from to give you some diversity and some fun options. So when you start a match, it's very much a Battlefield-esque type of match where you get to choose where you spawn. Depending on the game mode, you could be defending points or you could end up attacking points, and then you just control the zone. Now, the interesting thing about it is not everyone can actually capture these points. You have to play as a particular loadout, which is called the Tactical. And for Space Marines, you can choose to be a custom tactical and kind of pick the gear you want to bring, or the preset, which will already have a gear set for you to use, which isn't bad. It's actually quite good. But they are the only ones who can capture the points, so it's very important to understand that if you don't have any tacticals, maybe you should probably be one. But I found myself more gravitating towards the jetpack gameplay. I had a lot of fun playing as the Raptors because they have a lot of mobility. They're great for solo play without a squad if no one's really coordinating. And their executes with the melee weapons are absolutely gore-tastic and fun. So, at the moment, there currently isn't a whole lot of difference between the Space Marines and the Chaos, other than the Chaos get to use some powers from their dark magic, and then the Space Marines get to actually bring a shield to combat, the Storm Shield, and they also have an Apothecary, which has a different healing mechanic than the Sorcerer. Now, there's also only a limited number of vehicles right now. They both use the Transport, and they both use the Predator, and that's all there is at the very moment. And as you can see in this clip, I'm driving the Transport to actually bring a forward spawning point, which then can be used by my squad. And in the background, you also notice this guy using the Power Fist to actually knock it across, and that thing has some serious impact on vehicles. You can stop a tank charging at you with the Power Fist. It's pretty amazing. Now, the Predator tanks take some serious beatings and they dish out a lot of damage. They have a rapid-fire main cannon. They're armed with guns on the sides, on the top. They are beast mode. And also, the game also has a cover system that you can use when you're in your firefights, when you're fighting down corridors and holding down points, which makes for even more intense combat, especially when you have a good squad to work with. The game is also missing a lot of content right now, so if you're really thinking about getting this game, you need to really consider what is missing. And what is missing is quite hefty. There's no party system. You can't queue up with a friend. You can join through Steam, however. You can join their games if there's an empty slot, but a lot of times if it's full, it's not going to happen, or they have to join the other team. You can't work together. You can't mute people. If someone's trolling the mics, you can't do much about the in-game VoIP, but at least it has one. It does have some crashes. I've had some errors, and the melee needs a little more depth. Right now, all you can really do is just slash and try to make a counter. As you can see here, I'm trying to counter now. I can pretty much stop this guy right in his tracks with the counter, and then he can be finished off quite easily after that because he won't be able to counter afterwards. There will be a character progression, which currently isn't working right now. You can see that you're ranking up when you go to select which character you wish to play as, but it's just not quite there yet. And it's also out now for about $40 early access. It's on sale, so it means it's probably about $60. I do not know whether or not there's still going to be that free-to-WOG that they said they would have. We'll wait and see if that ever happens, which would be very nice. I mean, with the option of orcs there, that I'm hoping that's just the premium orcs, and that free players, there's going to be some sort of game mode for them to be a lesser orc boy. So, not quite sure about that yet. It's also missing a strategic world map, guild system. There's no 30 vs 30 maps which are advertised on their website at the moment, and there is no elite and hero classes out just yet, and no PvE. There's supposed to be a PvE horde mode with the Tyranids, which will hopefully come out relatively soon so people can try it and get a taste of what their PvE has to offer. Now, as far as the graphics and audio goes, I can tell it's unoptimized. I'm playing on a pretty powerful rig, and the frames aren't the greatest, but it's playable. I'm enjoying it. I love the action combat that it offers. I love the sounds of chain swords whirring as you're slicing through the enemy's armor, and then finishing them off with an execute, and the sound of power fist makes when you're launching some tank in the air. So for me, this game, in conclusion, is a 7 out of 10. I think you need to be a die-hard fan of the Warhammer series to really want to pay $40 for something that's just missing so much. I mean, the combat is great. It's intense. The executions are a nice touch. Someone's crawling away, and you just say, get over here, and you just finish them off after you've just got done wrecking their squad. And then it has its fun factor. You will have fun. This is a fun game, but it's missing a lot. That's the biggest con here right now. There's no party system. You can't mute people. It does have a few crashes. The melee needs a little more depth, maybe a bit of a rework, which I think they're going to be doing. We are missing the PvE. It's not there at all at the moment, so once that's there, hopefully that'll bring in some more people to play the game. There's no strategic world map yet. The guild system, there's only 16 versus 16. The elite and hero classes aren't there. It's missing a ton. So this is very much a buyer beware. I would wait on this one and save your money. This is a game that I really wish they had waited till they had a more complete version of their game before placing it on Steam for $40.